Overprotective Hiashi, Hinata's father takes on Naruto. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 1, Land of Fire. Konoha. Hinata home. Hinata was enough to sit on the steps in a very unsightly position, and not far away, a woman, lying on a recliner, her lower abdomen slightly bulging, was resting with her eyes closed. Hinata Hayashi retracted her gaze. Dog system, get out rough. A voice sounded. The on-hook system is starting. Hinata Hayashi is very angry with this system. When I first came to this world, I was bound to this system as soon as I was born. Hinata Hayashi originally thought that by relying on the system, he could rise as quickly as those fandom protagonists, becoming a ninja in 1 day, becoming a super shadow in 2 days, dominating the ninja world, and the harem did not stop. What Hinata, Uchiha, Senju, and other bloodlines each collect a copy. I didn't expect this to be an on-hook system. And as soon as it hangs up, it is 25 years. Exactly 25 years. A lot of Hinata Hayashi's spirit must be placed on this hang-up system, so in the eyes of outsiders, Hinata Hayashi often wanders and is not in the state. Even closely, he was stripped of his inheritance and made Hinata the patriarch. However, fortunately, Hinata Hayashi's father insisted on the primogeniture succession. This proposal was not passed. Now, give me the results of my 25 years of hanging up. In transit. Hinata felt a powerful force enter his body. Chakra level increased, current level, shadow level. Flexo level increased, currently available moves, Bugwa 128 palms, Bugwa empty palm. Wide eye level improvement, current ability, vision, perspective, insight, coercion. The first year of on-hook results transfer completed. End of transfer. Hinata nodded. It's not bad, just the success of the first year of hanging up has allowed my chakra to reach the shadow level, soft fist, white eyes, have been raised to a fairly high level, and my current strength is above the elite shinobi. However, compared with the real shadow level, it will still be worse, and the means of attack and defense are somewhat insufficient. Wait. Hinata Hayashi suddenly frowned. End of transmission? What about the second year? System, get out. The system sounds. The system is cooling, please wait. After the cooling is completed, the transmission of the results of the second year of on-hook can be carried out. UMD. But the system has turned on the pretend death state, and no matter what Hinata says, there is no more half a response. Dog system. Hinata snorted coldly. But for now, it's enough. A figure hurriedly walked towards this side, and when he saw the woman on the recliner, he couldn't help but slow down. Hayashi-sama. The person who came is a subordinate of Hinata Hayashi, a member of the Hyuga branch, Hinata Nami. After noticing Hinata's unsightly sitting posture, he quickly lowered his head as if he hadn't seen it. The family meeting is about to begin, and the elder group urges you to pass. Hinata nodded. Got it. Immediately, Hinata got up. The Hyuga clan is divided into clan and subfamily, and needless to say, the caged bird ceremony is engraved, while the clan is divided into 2 parts, the patriarch and the elder group. The elder group does exist, and in the original book, there is a picture of Ninji looking for an elder, who does not have the spell mark of a caged bird on his forehead, but is not Hinata's father. This family meeting was the first meeting after Hinata Hayashi succeeded as patriarch. The main thing discussed was the funeral of Hinata's father. However, Hinata knew that the elders had another purpose. Because of the existence of the hang-up system, he has been focusing on the hang-up for a long time, and his performance in the past is not good in the eyes of everyone, and he can even be regarded as mediocre. So the group of elders saw an opportunity to gain more rights. A family, rights are limited. If the elders want more, then the rights of the patriarch must be reduced. Hinata sneered. If the power of the Hyuga clan really falls into the hands of this group of bad old men, then the Hyuga clan will inevitably continue to decline in their hands. Hinata remembered clearly. In the original book, Kumo Shadow invaded Hinata's house and wanted to snatch Hinata. Hinata Hayashi shot and killed the Cloud Shadow messenger, but Konoha did not pursue, but Yunin village came to accountability first. Sarutobi Hinata slashed this coercion, and in order to avoid fighting, he was soft on the Cloud Shadow village and gave the pressure to the Hyuga clan. At that time, Hinata Hayashi had not fully controlled the Hyuga family, and most of the power was in the hands of the elders. It was this group of bad old men from the Hyuga family who made a decision, compromised with Sarutobi Hinata, handed over Hinata, and let Hinata die instead of Hinata. In Hinata's opinion, this is simply a shame. Whether it's an ape flying or a sun. Or this bunch of bad old men from Hinata. If you want to take power from me, then, just come. In my opinion, you old men don't need to exist at all. Hiding in a corner to retire is what you should do. A powerful momentum erupted from Hinata's body. The woman on the recliner opened her eyes and looked at Hinata. husband Kuan? Episode 2. It's okay, Liana, you have a good rest, I'm going to a family meeting. Ryona Hinata is the wife of Hyuga Hayashi, who comes from the Hyuga family and is separated by several generations. The Naruto world, a big family like Hinata Uchiha, will choose to combine with the people within their own family as much as possible to ensure the purity of the bloodline. To get a higher chance of blood succession awakening. This is true of Hinata, and the same is true of Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Makoto is the same existence that opened the Sharingan, and can only be a person from the Uchiha clan. Family meeting. Hyuga Ryona showed a sad look on her face, for Hinata's current situation and the strength of the elder group. Hyuga Ryona also understood, and suddenly was a little worried. Hayashi, then be careful. There is no need to rush to get all the power in our hands, we are still young and have a lot of time, we can take our time. Hinata smiled. It's okay, I know the measure. I'll go, you have a good rest at home. Hinata walked out of the courtyard. The station of the Hyuga clan is very large, second only to the Uchiha clan, but it is not as remote as the Uchiha clan, and the relationship between Hinata and Konoha is relatively harmonious compared to Uchiha. But that's only relative. Hinata's people could never gain Hokage's true trust. Not long after, a conference building appeared in Hinata's line of sight. Hayashi-sama. 2 guards immediately greeted him. Hayashi-sama, elders, all have already arrived. Hinata nodded. I know, lead the way. Yes. One person leads the way in front. Walking along the passage until the depths of the passage, the man in front of Hinata pushed open the door. Hayashi-sama has arrived. Hinata walked in. A wide conference room, in the middle, a long table, more than a dozen people around the table, sitting in a circle. When Hinata Hayashi walked in, everyone's eyes were focused on Hinata. Hinata walked straight to the main seat. Sit down. After that, looked around for a week. On both sides are elders. A bunch of old men. And below, is a young man, a middle-aged. Middle-aged, he is Hinata Hayashi's uncle and Hinata Hayashi's father's younger brother. The young man is the younger brother of Hinata Hayashi. Both are members of separate families. Normally, they are not qualified to participate in the family meeting, but today's family meeting involves discussing the funeral of Hinata Hayashi's father. Only then were the two allowed to come. Let's get started. Everyone looked at Hinata Hayashi, and suddenly felt that Hinata Hayashi seemed to be different from before, and the previous Hinata was quite wooden and often distracted. But now, Hinata looks like there is an air of not anger and self-esteem inside. An elder's brow furrowed. Could it be that Hinata's woodenwood was pretended before? Why? The elder took a deep look at Hinata and then at the other elders. Today's plan of the elder group may not succeed. Hinata Hayashi said, regarding the funeral of my father, it is good to come according to the customs in the past. How about Uncle Guang be in charge of this matter? Hinata nodded. Yes, no problem. Okay, then we will all listen to your arrangements at the funeral. Immediately, Hinata Hayashi looked at the group of elders. Now, the second thing, about some of the things my father was responsible for when he was alive. As the eldest son of my father and the current patriarch of the Hyuga clan, I am duty-bound. Leave all these things to me. An elder interrupted Hinata. Hayashi, you have just succeeded as the patriarch, there are still many things to deal with, and you don't know much about the family's affairs, let's share it with you. Hinata looked at the elder, her eyes narrowed slightly. In an instant, the atmosphere in the conference room became cold. Hinata looked at Hinata Hayashi, a little surprised, such Hinata, he had never seen before, the two were very familiar, after all, they were brothers, they grew up together since childhood. No need. Hinata Hayashi said, my father has already taught me about family matters. This elder, when you say this, do you distrust the abilities of my patriarch? Do you think I'm not worthy to be this patriarch? A powerful momentum erupted from Hinata's body. From the ability of the white eye, coercion. Suddenly, the people in the conference room all felt that they were suppressed. Even moving became difficult. It's like a fox facing a tiger. And at this moment, Hinata is the tiger. What a strong momentum. All the people were shocked. Another elder Xiaowei said, Hayashi, you misunderstood, we just want to help, there is no other meaning. Hinata glanced at the elder. The elder group, in the positioning of the Hyuga clan, is the reference group of the patriarch, providing advice to the patriarch. If there are elders, they don't like this job and want to participate in the actual implementation of the Hyuga clan. Well, it's simple. Resign as an elder and engrave the caged bird spell so that you can participate. Episode 3. Hinata's words fell, and all of a sudden, the entire conference room fell silent. The elders only felt a sharp chill behind them. Deprivation of elder status? This is completely unacceptable for them. Engraved with the imprint of a caged bird, then how can they talk about superiority in front of other clansmen? From a high-sect family, suddenly, to a separate family? It's a shame. The elders looked at Hinata with very complicated eyes. The moment Hinata Hyuga came in, they felt that something was wrong. Today's Hinata Hyuga was completely different from the previous Hinata Hyuga, and they thought that their plans might be hindered to a certain extent. At that time, they did not expect that Hinata would be so strong. Even the words to abolish their position as elders were spoken. The elders looked at each other, and in their eyes, they were all encouraging each other to stand up. Let the other party condemn Hinata. Reprimand Hinata. Forcefully take back the status of the elder group. However, no one stood up, and the elders were expecting others to stand up. A mockery appeared at the corner of Hinata's mouth. This time, Hinata was even ready to show his strength. But unexpectedly, these elders were even more unbearable than Hinata expected. He just used the coercion of the white eyes and said it a little more ruthlessly, and these elders did not dare to move. No wonder in the face of the pressure given by the ape-flying sun, they dare not resist at all. Treat your own people very fiercely. I don't care about Hinata's life. You still want to take my rights. A bunch of trash. Hinata Hyuga stood up, looked around, and said, since the two things have been discussed, let's disperse and go back to do what they have to do. Don't do what you shouldn't do, don't get involved. Hinata walked towards the door. As he passed by Hinata, he whispered. Come to my house in the evening. For this younger brother, Hinata Hyuga still has family affection, even if in these 25 years, Hinata Hyuga spends most of his time hanging up, but Hinata is very good for Hinata. Even if Hinata understands the concept of clan and separation, even if Hinata knows the difference between himself and Hinata Hyuga. Because you are born late, you will face a completely different fate. Hinata Bright, left the conference room one after another. Only the group of elders remained. Bang! An elder slammed heavily on the table. This Hinata, it's too much. Dare to have this attitude towards our elder group, and do not take our elder group seriously at all. An elder on the opposite side stood up. In that case, why didn't you dare to say it just now? You. Standing up, the elder glanced at a few people coldly and said, I don't have that much desire for power, and Hyuga has proven that he has the ability to be a good patriarch. From today onwards, I will only do what an elder should do. The rest, I won't be involved in the rest. And as for what you want to do, feel free. But I look at you, I'm afraid you don't have the guts. The elder taunted and left directly. The remaining elders had gloomy faces. Because this sentence just hit their pain point. But there is no way, it is indeed the same as this elder said, they take Hinata Hyuga, there is really no way, Hinata Hyuga is no longer an object they can easily handle. Back home. Ryona Hinata greeted immediately. Husband Kuin. Hinata Hyuga quickly took Ryona's hand, and the two returned to the house. Go back to the house, don't get cold. Hinata Hyuga helped Hinata Ryona to sit down, and then, half squatting next to him, stretched out his hand, and covered Hinata Ryona's slightly bulging lower abdomen. A very wonderful feeling surged into Hinata's heart. For Ryona Hinata Hyuga is familiar. Even if Hinata Hyuga has been hanging up for a long time, no matter what, he will not be a stranger to his wife. And for the child in Hinata's womb at the moment, Hinata is also very familiar. Hinata. A character that Hinata Hyuga loves. Hinata, you're a good daughter. Ryona Hinata's face turned slightly red because it covered her lower abdomen, and Hinata's hand. Suddenly heard Hinata's whisper. What Hinata? Hinata immediately reacted and said with a smile, the name of our future daughter, I have already thought of it, just call Hinata, how about it, this name is good, right? The name is good, but husband, how do you know it's a daughter? Maybe it's a son. Hinata shook her head repeatedly. Definitely not, my daughter is cute, like you Leonna. I don't want a son. There was a sound of footsteps. Hinata stood up and looked outside. Brother, sister-in-law. The person who came was Hinata. Liana, go to your room and rest, I have something to say with Hinata. Ryona Hinata nodded and walked into the next room. Hinata looked at Hinata. Hinata, let's go to the conference room. Episode 4, Sit. The two sat down. Brother, are you looking for me? Is there something wrong? I want to ask, about the Zong family and the division of the family, what is your opinion, the real opinion? Hinata fell silent. When Hinata understood the difference between the clan and the split family, Hinata was depressed for a long time, and it was not until much later that he slowly accepted this fact. When I first found out, I was upset, I felt unfair. But now, I'm coming to understand what separation really means. The existence of separation is not slavery, but protection. While the family is divided to protect the zone family is also protecting the divided family, and the meaning of the existence of the bird spell mark in the cage is not that the zone family is to control the separation family, but in order to, on the battlefield, otherwise the people who are separated will become the main target of the enemy. White eyes are a very coveted thing. Once they have the opportunity to get a blank eye, well, they will definitely do whatever it takes. The existence of the caged bird ritual makes the enemy unable to get white eyes from the people who have divided the family, so they will not be so attached to the people of the divided family, and these risks are borne by the people of the zone family. Hinata nodded. You can think of it this way, it's good, indeed, the concept of separation was originally proposed because of this, but some people use this as a status symbol. If only the patriarch of the Hyuga family was the clan alone, the contradiction between the Hyuga clan and the split family would not be so great. Because, the status of the patriarch is itself transcendent. Even if there is no caged bird spell mark. Just like the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku's status in the Uchiha clan is not lower than Hinata's status in the Hinata clan, and Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke are also equivalent to the princes of the Uchiha clan. However, the elder group, using the concept of the sect family and the separation family to the fullest, to the greatest extent, used the caged bird spell seal to seek benefits for themselves, which is the origin of the contradiction between the sect family and the separation family. I will deal with these problems slowly. Thank you. Thank you? Hinata raised an eyebrow. Hinata bent down a little and said, it's not your fault, brother, but you are willing to work hard for the sake of the people who have divided the family, and I want to thank you on behalf of the entire family. No, I'm just doing it better for Hinata. Hinata looked at Hinata. By the way, Hinata, there's another one I want to ask you. Brother, please say. What do you think of our relationship between Hinata and Konoha? Hinata didn't expect this to be this problem, and was stunned for a moment. Immediately, he looked down and thought for a while. Brother, why are you asking that? Nothing, just want to know what you think. Hinata Hayashi said, in recent years, the relationship between the Uchiha clan and the high level of Konoha has become more and more bad, however, we Hyuga clan are no better. Hinata, if one day Konoha and the Hyuga clan are on opposite sides, which side will you be on? Hinata shook her head. Konoha and the Hyuga clan should not be on opposite sides, we are different from the Uchiha clan, the existence of the caged bird spell mark can greatly weaken the village's fear of us. Moreover, the 4 generations of adults will not sit idly by and watch this happen. In a sense, Wave Feng Shui Gate is a perfect fire shadow, but unfortunately, soon Wave Feng Shui men will die. And the Ape Flying Sun will be back in position. Ape Flying Sun Chopper, behind the interests of several large families, even if Ape Flying Sun Chopper itself is not selfish, but the several families behind him will definitely not do nothing. I mean just in case. In case, I must be on Hinata's side, I am Hinata's person first, and then I am from the village. Hinata nodded. I know, by the way, the day difference, during this time I will trouble you to monitor the people of the elder group, this group of bad old men is not such a peaceful existence. Father's funeral, just give it all to Uncle Guangming. Hinata almost nodded. Good. That brother, I will leave first. Goodbye. Hinata Hayashi looked at Hinata's back, and it was not until Hinata completely disappeared that Hinata retracted her gaze. Just now, Hinata didn't lie, so it seems that the current situation of the Hyuga clan is better than the situation of the Uchiha clan, not as crazy as the Uchiha clan, and there is no Urkazai. There are 2 very important internal reasons for the demise of Uchiha. One is that some of the clansmen fell into madness and wanted to rebel. The other is the existence of Urwuzi. Uchiha Stop the Water, and Uchiha Itachi. The good or bad of these 2 people, Hinata does not comment. But if such a person exists in the Hyuga clan, then Hyuga Hayashi will hack these 2 little bee cubs to death in the first place, and the ash will be raised to him. The next day, very early, there was a knock on the door. What people? It's me, Feng Shui Men. Hinata raised an eyebrow. Episode 5, Naruto-sama, please come in. Hinata Hayashi welcomed the Wave Feng Shui Gate in. Naruto-sama, please sit. Ryona Hinata saw the Wave Feng Shui Gate, saluted, and sat down next to Hinata. Feng Shui Men showed a smile. Time is a little tight, Hinata, then I'll say it directly. Naruto-sama, please say. The wedding date of Jyoshinai and I has been set. Hinata raised her eyebrows slightly, thinking of a possibility. Feng Shui Men noticed the change in Hinata's expression and admitted, Jyoshinai is pregnant, so even if I am busy with work, I must give Jyoshinai a perfect wedding. Hinata nodded. Naruto-sama, congratulations, if you need help, you can say it at any time. No, it's enough for you to come to my wedding when the time comes. Whatever Naruto-sama said, Hokage's wedding, of course we will attend. Feng Shui Men smiled. It's an invitation. Suddenly, Wei Fengshuimon looked at Ryona Hinata and looked back at Hyuga Hinata. Hiashi, it seems that you and Liana's child will be born at about the same time as my child. I didn't expect it to be so coincidental. Maybe this represents some providence, whether or not, let's make an agreement. Hinata's face immediately turned cold. Engagement? Let Naruto, that little cub, marry my daughter? Go for your spring and autumn dreams. Naruto-sama, I just remembered that I seem to have something to deal with. Hinata Hiashi interrupted the Wave Feng Shui gate. Bo Feng Shui-man was stunned for a moment, revealing an embarrassed expression, but quickly hid it. Since Hiashi has something to do, then I won't bother. Goodbye Naruto-sama. The two watched the departure of Bo Feng Shui-man. Bo Feng Shui-man still attaches great importance to the Hyuga family, and personally came to invite. To be fair, Hinata Hiashi also has a good impression of the Wave Feng Shui-man, and in the position of Hokage, he has done better than the Sarutobi Hinata, including Naruto Uzumaki and Senju Tsunade in the back. However, marrying a daughter is such a thing, Hinata can't do it. Ryona Hinata glanced at Hinata angrily. Fukuin, if you are like this, Naruto-sama will probably be unhappy. Hinata Hiashi shook his head and said, there is still a bit of temperament in the Wave Feng Shui gate, so I won't be angry. Don Fukuin, isn't it good for us to be married to Naruto-sama, for our Hyuga family? I don't want such a benefit. Hinata Hiashi said, our daughter must be beautiful and cute. How can it be so easy? Cheap other people's pigs? No, absolutely not. Not even if it's the Hokage family's pig. Ryona Hinata couldn't help but smile and shake her head. This hasn't been born yet, husband, you love it so much. I really don't know what our daughter will be used to by you in the future. Hinata Hiashi smiled and didn't speak. On the one hand, Hinata Hiashi really doesn't want to marry her daughter. On the other hand, Naruto was not a good choice. The day Naruto was born was the day of the birth of the Wave Wind Water Gate, together with Uzumaki Joshinai. Without parents. Naruto was an orphan. And it is greatly targeted. The entire village discriminated against Naruto and regarded Naruto as a demon fox. In this case, being involved with the Hyuga clan would be a problem for the Hyuga clan. Naruto, this little cub, let's go and scourge the second pillar of the Uchiha family. From this matter, Hinata Hiashi can also see that Ape Flying Sun Chopper is not so selfless. Naruto's two identities. A son of a fourth generation of Hokage. A nine-tailed man pillar force. Both identities pose a danger to Naruto. If Sarutobi Hinata was for Naruto's safety, he would not only hide this identity of Naruto's son, but should hide both of Naruto's identities. Just hiding the identity of the son of the Hokage, Naruto would also face great danger. Moreover, there are no benefits that Hokage's son status can bring. It is equivalent to actively pushing Naruto's situation to the worst state. Two identities are not hidden, both identities are hidden. Hiding the nine-tailed human pillar force does not hide the identity of the son of the Hokage. These three situations, no matter what they are better than what Sarutobi did with it. Hinata's deep suspicions, Sarutobi Hinata, is to push Sarutobi Shinosuke to the throne. There is great jealousy of Bo Feng Shui-men. Bo Feng Shui-men's Hokage career in just a few years, and his recognition among civilians is already higher than that of Ape Flying Sun. Weaken the influence of Wave Feng Shui-men. If you have the opportunity, you can consider saving Bo Feng Shui-men. However, now, I have only obtained the results of hanging up for a year, and my strength is between the elite upper shinobi and the shadow level, and it is difficult to reverse the situation in the face of Uchiha Obito and the Nine Tails. Unless, in this matter, you can get the support of the Uchiha clan. Or maybe there are other opportunities. A figure walked into the courtyard. Hinata bright. Hiashi-sama, ready. Episode 6. At Hinata Nakata's funeral, there were many people in attendance, and in addition to the people of the Hyuga clan, many others came. Wave Feng Shui-men. People from the Yao Lady clan who are closer to the Hyuga clan, people from the Inuzuka clan, and people from Uchiha. Hinata is a little strange that people from the Uchiha clan would come over. The relationship between the Uchiha clan and the Hinata clan is not harmonious. The two families, because of the similarity of the blood succession limit, are both in the eyes. One is the white eye and the other is the chakra eye. Therefore, everyone subconsciously compares the two families. From here, it can also be seen that the Ape Flying Sun slashing ability is not good. If only Hinata was sitting in the position of Hokage. Then in order to balance, Hyuga Hayashi will definitely support the Hyuga clan and raise the strength of the Hyuga clan to a level where it can compete with the Uchiha clan. If one family can't do it, two families unite. Pigs, deer, and butterflies can all be united, and there is no reason why other families can't. In this way, the attention of the Uchiha clan will be attracted to the Hinata clan. And not the whole village as an imaginary enemy. Those who are at the top want to let the forces below contain and conserve. But Sarutobi Hinata did not do this, suppressing not only the Uchiha clan, but even the Hinata clan. Naruto-sama. Hinata Hayashi saw the wave feng shui gate and greeted it. Only Buofeng Shui men came alone, and Uzumaki Jioshinai did not come. Day foot, morning. Hinata nodded and said, people are born, old, sick, and dead, thank you Naruto-sama for taking time out of his busy schedule. After that, it was Uchiha Fugaku. Hinata Hayashi has some sympathy for Uchiha Fugaku. It is clear that he is the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, but Uchiha Fugaku's ability to control the clan is not enough, and some of the clansmen want to overturn the high level of Konoha and make their own decisions. The other part stood firmly on Konoha's side. This led to a tangled situation for the Uchiha family. If the power of the family cannot be condensed, it is doomed, and whatever you do, it will be a failure. Uchiha Fugaku has 2 genius sons. But one became the murderer of the extermination of the Uchiha clan. And the other one, for most of his life, spent in revenge. Even if the 4th Ninja World War is over, Uchiha Sasuke, like Naruto, has become the savior of the ninja world, but Uchiha Sasuke's position in Konoha is still very awkward. It can only settle in the marginal corner of Konoha, like Uchiha before. Day foot, morning. Fugaku, thank you. As the guests entered one after another, Hinata Mitsuki stood up. The real funeral ceremony is now about to begin. Hinata Nakata's body had already been buried in the cemetery. On the high platform directly in front of him, there is a portrait of Hinata Nakata. Suddenly, it was getting dark. Rain, dripping. Hinata looked at the portrait in front of her, and her face showed a sad expression. Came into this world for 25 years. Hinata spends most of her time hanging up and has very little communication with Hinata Nakata. But father and son after all. Blood is thicker than water. Some words, needless to say, are understood in the heart. Moreover, the elder group was very dissatisfied with Hinata Hayashi's previous performance, and if it were not for Hinata Nakata's insistence, perhaps Hinata Hayashi and this family head would have been deprived of their positions. In that way, those who become the clan will be Hinata. Hinata will be engraved with the spell of the caged bird. Hinata stood behind Hinata. The order of elders is on the other side. Father Sama, please rest in peace, I will make the Hyuga clan better. Hinata bowed deeply to the portrait. After that, from the basket next to it, he picked up a bouquet of flowers, stepped forward, and placed the flowers on the table under the portrait. It was followed by Hinata. One after another, people stepped forward and laid flowers. Hayashi, then I'll go back first. Naruto-sama, go slowly. With the departure of the Wave-Wind Water Gate, Uchiha Fugaku, Oil Girl Shirwei, Inazuka Pa, all left one after another. The people of the group of elders were divided into 2 parts. Some of them are the same as ordinary members of the Hyuga family, but others leave early, and it seems that they vented their dissatisfaction with Hyuga Nakata on Hinata. Hinata glanced at the men and didn't say anything more. Hinata Hayashi didn't have much affection for these bad old men, and Hinata Hayashi didn't feel that his father needed the worship of these bad old men. Uncle Guangming, hard work. Hinata shook his head and said, this is all I should do, Nakata is my older brother, and this is the only thing that I, the younger brother, can do for him. Suddenly, Hinata lowered his voice. Hayashi, as an uncle, I want to wake you up. What? These days, you have to be careful, there are a few elders, the situation is not quite right these days, I don't know what they are plotting, but this change began with the last family meeting. Your strength is a good thing, but it can also bring risks. Hinata's pupil shrank slightly. Uncle Guangming, I know, thank you. No need, no matter how I say it, it's all your uncle, the sect family and the divided family, only those who can't see through will care. The eldest brother he has never regarded me as a member of the family, but only regarded me as a younger brother. Episode 7. After Hinata Guang left, Hinata Hayashi's face turned cold, he didn't expect that these people from the elder group had such courage to attack his patriarch. Now they want to get more benefits and rights, there is only one way, that is, to replace a patriarch, and what they have to do is have no other way than kill me. It seems that I am still too soft-hearted. I dealt with these bad old men to the greatest extent, and I only put them under house arrest, like concubines who entered the cold palace, but I didn't expect them to kill me. Good. A killing intent flashed in Hinata's eyes. Originally thinking of the friendship of the Hyuga family, Hinata Hayashi didn't want to do too much, just let these bad old men who only do bad things away from the center of power to retire, but for those who want to kill themselves, Hinata Hayashi will definitely not show mercy. After the funeral, the crowd gradually dispersed. Hinata Hayashi walked in the direction of home. Humph, bad old men, if you want to kill me, just come on, my current strength, although in this world, even in Konoha is not the top kind, but it is not comparable to you. Hinata looked ahead. This road is the only way for Hinata to go home, and on the entire road, only this one location is suitable for ambushes. Those old men must think that after the funeral, I will let my guard down because of grief, and think that this must be the best time for them to make a move. Therefore, they want to attack and kill me, and there is only one chance. Hinata's eyes flashed with a chill. White eyes. Looking far away. Perspective, sure enough, as Hinata expected, there were many people in ambush in the woods. 1, 2, 3. 6. I didn't expect that these bad old men still have quite energy, and they dispatched 6 ninjas at once, 3 upper ninjas, 3 middle ninjas, such strength, against me before, it is indeed more than enough. But now I'm not the same as I used to be. Now I have received the results of hanging up for a year. Countless thoughts flashed in Hinata's heart, but on his face, he remained silent, as if he had not found anything, and still walked into the woods according to his usual state. Phew. And the moment Hinata stepped in, the assassin couldn't help it. A figure rushed towards Hinata at an extremely fast speed. At the same time, behind Hinata, 3 figures also appeared. There are 6 people in total, 1 in front, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and 3 in the back. Kill. With an order, the 6 pounced on Hinata at the same time. Hinata snorted coldly. Go back to heaven. A powerful momentum erupted from Hinata's body. Shadow level chakra. Top of the day. Against other people, Hinata Hyashi's means will be slightly inadequate, but it was Hinata's people who attacked Hinata this time. The means of these people are no different from Hinata, and they are not as good as Hinata. Therefore, in front of these people, Hinata is a real shadow level. So strong. One of the upper ninja's pupils shrank, and his figure retreated sharply. The 2 upper shinobi next to him also retreated. But the remaining 3 Naka shinobi didn't have such good luck. When Hinata Hyuga used Huitian, they couldn't react at all, and with Hinata Hyashi's strength, a blow to Huitian was enough to bring them fatal damage. Poof. A mouthful of blood spurted out. 1 Naka shinobu landed heavily on the ground. The other Naka shinobu smashed on the stone, his head bleeding. The 3rd place Naka shinobu hit the tree trunk. Click. Even the trunk was directly broken by this Naka shinobi. One of the upper shinobi's faces changed suddenly. How can Hinata's strength be so strong? Didn't the elder say that Hinata is at most just an ordinary shinobi? How can this strength be just an ordinary upper patience? Even if it is an elite tolerant, it cannot be done. Hinata Hyuga looked at the 3 kami shinobi. As a member of the Hyuga family, who gave you the courage to attack me, the patriarch? Who let you come? Don't force me to use the caged bird technique. After the failure of the attack just now, the 3 Shainin clearly knew that this assassination was no longer possible. The people of the clan family have absolute restraint towards those who are separated. A single thought can permanently damage the brains of people who have separated their families. Therefore, their attack and killing only have one chance. The moment Hinata didn't react. Escape. The 3 upper shinobi fled in 3 different directions. Hinata snorted coldly. Stubborn. After that, aim at a person, and the thought moves. Ugh. Immediately, this kami shinobu fell holding his head. The caged bird spell has been activated. Even if it is light, this person will become an idiot in the future. And if it is heavy, then it is death. In any case, this upper patience will not be really alive in the future. Hinata Hyuga looked at the other 2 shinobi. I thought that this would make the 2 stop, but I didn't expect that these 2 people actually accelerated their speed. Hinata's eyes became cold. You asked for it. Opportunity, I've already given you guys. Episode 8, Caged Bird. The 2nd place kami shinobu, like the 1st kami shinobu, fell down holding his head at the moment when Hinata Hyuga activated the caged bird spell seal, leaving only the last kami shinobu. Hinata did not use the caged bird spell seal again. But far behind this man. The real mastermind behind the scenes cannot be just these people, so Hinata Hyuga wants to find the real mastermind behind the scenes, that is, the members of the elder group, through this person. After that, kill each other. The kami shinobu desperately sped up his speed. The death of his companion stimulated this kami shinobu to the extreme, and his full potential burst out. However, he was still in Hinata's white eyes. Hinata's strength is far stronger than him. Deep in the forest, a log cabin appears. Elder, we have failed. Kami shinobu jumped in. Inside, it was Elder Hinata. Failed? Yes, Hinata Hyuga's strength far exceeds our expectations, and we are the same as you planned, Elder, ambushed on the way Hyuga Hyuga will go home. The moment Hinata entered the woods, we attacked. However, Hinata Hyuga reacted. When our attack was about to touch Hinata Hyuga launched a return to the sky. 3 Naka shinobi died instantly. and our attacks have all failed. We know that the opportunity is gone, so the remaining 3 Shainin quickly scattered and fled. Hinata Hyuga used the caged bird spell seal on one of our upper shinobi. Then, Hinata Hyuga caught up with another shinobu. Only I was left, escaped from Hinata's hands. Elder, Hinata's strength is probably still above the elite. The elder's brows furrowed. This little devil of Hinata is so powerful? Wait. The elder suddenly realized that something was wrong. If Hiashi is really as powerful as you say, then how can he not catch up with you? The caged bird technique is not just effective against a separated family at the same time, it can be effective for multiple people at the same time. And at this moment, a figure pushed the door in. It was Hinata. Elder Futian, I didn't expect that the mastermind behind the scenes would be you. The remaining Kami Shinobu also understood that Hinata Hyuga was not able to catch up with him at all, but deliberately made him think that the caged bird spell mark could only be effective for one person at the same time. Hinata Hyuga kept his life just to let him lead the way. Abominable. This Kami Shinobu Hinata pounced. Elder, you go first, I will support him. Hinata Hyuga glanced at the shinobu. It's really a loyal dog, to this extent, he still chooses to be loyal to you, even if he spares his own life. Elder Futian, I have to say that you are demagogic, very good. But, you want to stop me? By what? Hinata Hyuga's thoughts moved, and immediately, the caged bird spell was activated. This Kami Shinobu rushed halfway through and suddenly stopped. Snap. Fell to the ground like a puddle of mud. Hinata Fukuda's face was gloomy. Hyuga, what do you want? Hinata Hyuga looked at Hinata Fukuda and said, what I want is very simple, you explain all the people who are secretly involved in this matter this time, then, I can spare your life. Hinata Fukuda sneered. Spend your whole life in prison, humiliate you? I might as well be killed by you, it looks like you've made a decision. Hinata Hyuga said, it's a fox, sooner or later it will show its tail, since Elder Futian, you have already made your choice, then, I will act according to my own ideas. Suddenly, Hinata rushed forward. Soft fist. One punch. Hinata Fukuda couldn't stop it at all. Click. Immediately, Hinata Fukuda flew out upside down. Bang. Smashed on the wall and hit the ground hard. But Hinata Hyuga did not kill Hinata Fukuda. Hinata Fukuda, you want to die, it's not so easy, I will bring you to the entire Hyuga family and tell them that you are a traitor to the Hyuga clan. Your children will live in humiliation for the rest of their lives against your reputation. And, if they want to do something to me, I won't hesitate to kill them. Hinata Fukuda glared coldly at Hinata. Hinata, I admit, I underestimated you, but you disrespect the elder group too much, you don't understand at all what the elder group means to Hinata. Hinata, under your leadership, will go into decline. It's not something you need to worry about. Hinata glanced at Hinata Fukuda lightly. Moreover, I know what the elders represent to Hinata, representing the moth. It's you who have intensified the contradiction between the sect family and the separation of the family. The original intention of the caged bird spell seal is protection, and you have turned it into a right and a barrier. Now, I will take back all these rights that you have snatched away. Except for the patriarch, everyone must engrave the caged bird spell seal. Hinata Fukuda stared at Hinata deadly. Episode 9, You Dare. Why wouldn't I dare? Hinata Hyuga said, only your elder group will oppose such a policy, and all the members of the divided family will support it, including your current subordinates. As long as I say this sentence, then this is the trend of the times. The caged bird spell mark will return to its original meaning. Instead of being used by you moths. There was a look of horror in Hinata's eyes, because he realized that what Hinata said was true. These elders have been doing their power for too long. So much so that deep down, they all think they are high. Treat those who are separated as slaves. But the people of the Hyuga family should be equal. What happens if the people who split up know the news? 100% support. People are not suffering from the few and uneven, and now that Hinata has given them a fair chance, they will definitely seize it. You're going against the grain. Hinata Hyuga no longer said more to Hinata Fukuda, a hand knife. Bang. Hinata fainted. After that, Hinata Hyuga directly took Hyuga Fukuda back home. Left Hinata Fukuda in the corner. Hyuga Fukuda's acupuncture points have been sealed by Hinata Fukuda using chakra. Even without the restraint of the rope, Hyuga Fukuda cannot move a single minute and has completely lost the ability to move. Husband Kuan? Ryona Hinata saw Hyuga Fukuda and was a little puzzled. Hinata explained, I was attacked on my way back today, and 6 ninjas of the Hyuga family were ambushed in the woods, and Hinata Fukuda was one of the masterminds behind it. Hinata Ryona's pupils shrank. How dare they? There is nothing to dare, greedy people, For the sake of power, everything is done, Hinata, now it is rotten, therefore, I decided, reform. What is superfluous, what is outdated, that should not exist, must all be removed. The group of elders is the first. Hinata looked around the corner. Ryoyoshi, come here. A young man jumped in and came to Hinata. Hiashi-sama. Hinata nodded and said, notice, 3 days later, hold a meeting of the entire family, whether it is a clan or a separate family. At least one person from a family must be sent to participate in the meeting. I have something important to announce. Yes, Hinata-sama. Go down. Hinata Ryuyoshi's figure disappeared. Hinata Hayashi originally wanted to give these bad old men of the elder group a little face, after all, they were elders. But unexpectedly, they gave a face and did not face. He even thought about assassinating Hinata Hayashi. This made Hinata unbearable. Just took advantage of this opportunity to stamp all the members of the elder group with the caged bird spell seal. An undercurrent surged through Hinata's house. Hinata looked outside. Soon after, it will be the Ninetales Rebellion. At that time, Konoha will be dealt a heavy blow, and now it is still in the stable period of Konoha, and the ability of the wave wind and water gate is stronger than that of the ape flying sun. Take advantage of this period of peace to completely wipe out the Hyuga clan. In this way, when I face external forces, I don't have to worry about chaos from within. Uchiha's extermination, in addition to bringing soil, is more due to internal differences. And then again, Obito, itself is also out of the Uchiha clan. Many members of the elder group have realized that something is wrong. Because Hinata Fukuda disappeared. The assassination of Hinata was not only an elder of Hinata Fukuda, but other elders were involved. Hyuga Fukuda was gone, but Hinata Hayashi was well. Therefore, they guessed that either Hyuga Fukuda had defected to Hinata Hayashi and betrayed them. Or, it was Hinata Hayashi who caught Hinata Fukuda. Either way, it's a bad situation for them. Most of the people who have separated their families do not know what the situation is. 3 days passed quickly. Hayashi-sama, everyone has already arrived. Good. Hinata Hayashi walked towards the high platform, and below, all the members of the Hyuga family, the elder group, and the family. I've seen the clan elder. Hinata bowed her head slightly. Immediately looked around, at the position of the elder group, took one more look. Coughed dryly. The reason for today's family meeting is simple, because I was attacked 3 days ago, on my way home after my father's funeral. It was 6 members of the Hyuga family who attacked me. When these words fell, the pot immediately exploded below. The members of the Hyuga family, the patriarch who attacked Hinata, but anyone with brains can see that this matter is not simple. 3 upper shinobi, 3 middle shinobi. 5 of the ninjas, in the first moment, were killed by me. And the remaining ninja, where I followed him to escape, found a person, a member of the Elder Order, Hinata Fukuda, who is also one of the masterminds behind this incident. Immediately, Hinata Hayashi gestured to the side. Bring Hinata Fukuda up. Yes. Episode 10, Ryoyoshi Hyuga escorted Hyuga Fukuda up and tied Hyuga Fukuda to the pillar. Hinata Hayashi stood up and said, Hyuga Fukuda is not the only one who plotted this matter, but Hyuga Fukuda doesn't say it, so I don't know who it is in a short time, but, I know, it's a member of the Council of Elders. The members of the divided family, even if you kill me, it will not benefit you, you have already engraved the spell mark of the caged bird, it is impossible to lift it, and you cannot become the new patriarch. Only people from the Order of Elders can. Hinata paused and said, speaking of which, I want to discuss something with you. I know that many people who have separated their families are dissatisfied with the caged bird spell seal, and feel that it is a kind of restraint. Not only can you not exert the ability of the white eye to 100%, and it will also be controlled by the people of the zone family. One thought can determine your life and death. However, the original intention of the caged bird spell seal is not to divide the clan and the separate family, but to protect it. The caged bird spell seals to protect the members of the divided family. Members of the divided family protect the clan family. This is what the Hyuga family really should be. Over the years, some people have used this thing to gain benefits for themselves, hierarchically dividing the concept of clan and division of family, thinking that they are superior. Hinata took out a stack of paper. This is the evidence I gathered. Most of them were done by members of the elder group, and even, this time, the members of the elder group chose to strike at me, wanting to snatch the position of the patriarch from me. Then, I would think that the elder group, there is still no need to exist. The people of the elder group immediately stood up. Several people. An elder said in a calm voice, Hayashi, what do you want to do? Hinata glanced at the man coldly. Please call me patriarch. Hinata Hayashi said, what I want to do is very simple, just let the caged bird spell mark return to its original meaning. I think, members of the elder group, there is no reason not to portray the caged bird spell seal. The faces of the members of the elder group changed drastically. And the members of the divided family, in their eyes, there is a touch of expectation. Why are the people who split up so dissatisfied with the Zong family? Isn't it because of the power of these elders? As for the patriarch, it doesn't matter at all. No matter which family patriarch, the power is completely above everyone. Hinata Hayashi continued, the caged bird spell mark is to prevent the white eye from being robbed. Elders, to be honest, the strength is not good. Hinata Fukuda lost in my hands, I only used one move. Even compared to Hinata's divided upper shinobi, the strength is inferior. Such a strength is easy to be snatched away by the enemy, and in that case, the existence of the caged bird spell mark will become meaningless. Elders, you need the protection of the caged bird spell seal. I'm doing this for your own good. Several elders trembled angrily, but they couldn't refute Hinata's words. Do they want to say it directly? They just feel that they are more noble and want higher privileges? It was true that the Hyuga family was like this before, and they thought so, but now it is not okay to say so. It will cause public outrage. Therefore, I have decided to abolish the concept of clan and division of family. From today onwards, only the patriarch and the patriarch candidates do not need to portray the spell seal, while everyone else needs to portray the caged bird spell seal. Do you agree with this proposal? Hinata looked down. The news was too sudden, and for a while, everyone failed to react. Hinata Hayashi looked at Hinata Hikari and Hinata and nodded his chin. Hinata raised his right hand, not knowing if it was excitement or excitement, his arm trembled slightly. Immediately after, there is Hinata. After that, the people who divided the family finally reacted. One by one, their faces showed joy. That's a good thing for them. A family, there are so many interests. In the past, the elder group accounted for the vast majority, but now, Hinata Hayashi took out the interests of the elder group. This means that many people will be given opportunities. In addition, with the disappearance of the concept of clan and family separation, from now on, the people who are separated from them will no longer be inferior. Wherever you go, you won't be ridiculed. And as for the special of patriarchs and patriarch heirs, this is true in any family. No one will be upset about this. We agree. All the people in the family raised their right hands. The people of the elder group turned pale. However, there is nothing to do. At this moment, they have understood that they have gone for the moment. Hinata looked at the group of elders. The eyes of all the members of the divided family also looked at the elder group. The elders understood that they had no choice. Without raising their hand, they may not be able to leave from here today. For the members of the divided family, they can indeed exercise restraint. But Hinata Hayashi is also on the opposite side of them, and extremely strong. After a long time, finally, an elder raised his hand. The second, the third. Hinata Hayashi smiled with satisfaction.